This is how I collaborated with MrBeast and IShowSpeed to recreate 5 streamers' rooms to pull off the biggest prank the internet's ever seen. So this all started a few months ago when MrBeast called my cell phone asking me to recreate IShowSpeed's room for this massive prank. I didn't really know what he was talking about. I've already made the room once for Speed, so it was kind of crazy, but he wanted every detail exact. But this time, instead of building it in Speed's house, he wanted me to build it in North Carolina.
Wait, so we have all these rooms for all these streamers. They're all gonna go live.
So we're gonna make it look like Jimmy is teleported.
Because Speed is in Florida. I think Pokimane's in California, XQC's in Canada, and when I go from room to room, I'm not driving from state to state. I'm just walking 5 feet in my hallway.
Look at my face right there, and right now, I'm still confused about how crazy this was. He basically wanted to make it look like he was just going to different streamers' rooms. I had the idea of flooding them all with water, but it was a little bit too crazy and dangerous, so we were trying to figure out how to make Jimmy teleport from Speed's room in Florida, Pokimane's room in California, XQC in Canada, and it all had to happen inside of this building right here. This is MrBeast's brand new warehouse. It's the largest soundstage on the East Coast, and I had to build everything inside of here. To make matters worse, this is one of the first videos they've ever filmed in here.
So this is the area where we're recreating all of the streamers' rooms to prank the internet, and way back there behind those curtains is where all 50 streamers are gonna be competing for $1 million and a Lamborghini.
I love how Noah's just eating in the background with a Luffy hat. We had no idea what we were doing, and this is a $5 million studio.
There's gonna be a bunch of people watching right here to see if anybody leaves the square or gets eliminated. There is like 1,000 cameras right here.
One of these cameras is worth more than my house, and Jimmy just has like 10 of them laying around like they're peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Once we got the tour of the brand new facility, I was very scared to touch or break anything, but unfortunately we had to bring in our Beem Team box truck and start unloading everything without breaking it.
Hold on.
Right now we're laying out all of the walls to reconstruct IShowSpeed's gaming room inside of MrBeast's warehouse. We built all of these walls to go exactly like a puzzle and then just stand them into place.
The reason we do stuff like that is since we're building it first in Colorado, when we take it down, we want it to go back up super easy like Lego pieces, since we have a very small deadline. And to make things even crazier, not only do we have to build 1 streaming room, which normally takes me 2 or 3 weeks, we have to build 5 in just a matter of a few days. I've been incredibly blessed working with some of the biggest YouTubers and streamers on the planet, building them insane rooms, but this is definitely the craziest task I've ever had. Each one of those acrylic pieces they told me was like $10,000 or $12,000, and they had like 46 of those panels to make this box. Every single day we were there leading up to the challenge, they had different people playtesting the games and stuff to making sure they were 100% fair and they actually worked. There is so much work that goes into a MrBeast video.
They're testing the lighting for when a streamer gets eliminated.
That light was so impressive. We were like 30 feet away from it and it would light up the entire room. I felt like I was in a Netflix show. The entire place would change. It felt like a DJ booth. IShowSpeed is actually the co-host of the 50 streamer video, so it was very clear a soccer challenge couldn't be left out. Which, by the way, became one of the most important challenges in the entire video. Speed was the goalie blocking Steak. Somehow Wendy Ortiz actually scored a goal past him. He was trying incredibly hard to get all of the streamers out of MrBeast's video. I was so stressed, and it was really crazy to see how much information MrBeast had on all of these streamers' rooms. He had all of the paint colors, the sizing, every item in there. It was extremely helpful. My favorite part about whenever we film videos for our channel, even though there's crazy deadlines and we're stressed, we still managed to break the tension with some fun. Aaron was doing the most ridiculous stuff. That's actually a ring that we use for the stencil to make the perfect circle on the grass in Speed's room. Right after that moment, I don't know if they saw us on camera or something, but they texted me and said every room needs to be perfect and flawless so we can actually prank the internet. This was one of the hardest parts, recreating this wall, because we have the broken wall texture, the number 7, and then the custom nameplate on the top that says IShowSpeed. But luckily everything was the exact same because we keep all of our blueprints. Whenever we plan a project, we have the paint, the sizing, so it's kind of easy for us to recreate this. I just was never expecting to do it again in my life.
But right here, we got a 3D printed Luffy.
As you can see, that's IShowSpeed's favorite part of the room I made for him originally. He absolutely loves the anime One Piece. So the first time around, we decided to make him a giant custom Luffy out of foam. He thinks it's 3D printed, but it's actually Noah's skills. He is an incredible artist. So he had to recreate this 2 different times and hang it on this wall because everything had to be the same. A lot of stuff like this shot actually didn't make it into the video. So if you want to see more behind the scenes and me breaking down our builds and videos, make sure you comment down below letting me know you enjoy this, and please subscribe. We actually have hundreds of hours of footage in every single video, like 5 terabytes, and it gets cut down to a 20-minute video. Like this time that we were taking toilet paper from MrBeast's bathroom to make this bed. There's so many small details that go into every single one of our videos. We had to spend an entire day going shopping. We went to Target looking for LED lights and stuff. And then over here, I went into this cool shop and I had to make a Speed replica jersey. So we actually took a screenshot from his room, zoomed it in, and printed the exact same font and logo. So this is the same jersey that hangs in his room.
can't reach that. Would you help?
This was crazy.
Alrighty, I'm going for it.
There you go.
Of course, Big Mac's sitting on Noah's back because he can't reach.
It's the first time I've ever done that.
I actually really enjoy making videos like this, breaking it down. Like, I didn't think the world would ever see this type of content. Now here we are at Walmart. Noah bought that fish hat. I'm pretty sure Nolan from MrBeast Squad bought the same hat a few weeks later. After going to the store, this is when things got really serious. Jimmy came by for a check-in.
Whoa!
So this is an exact replica of Speed's room.
Oh, wait, why is this weird? Is this like a water mattress?
So check it out. This entire...
Whoa! That felt like a water bed. That's funny. So this bro, Speed's gonna freak when he sits. This is awesome. You killed it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see Speed's reaction.
A lot of people were asking me how many streamers' rooms we recreated. So there was 50 streamers involved in the prank. We recreated 5 rooms and the other 45 had green screens. It was so crazy having to recreate someone's room. It was kind of creepy. Every single item was the exact same and we kept looking over at photos for references. Huge shout out to MrBeast's team. This was not just me. I don't want to take any credit. My team is absolutely incredible. So shout out to everybody on the Beem team. And then also MrBeast's team. They had incredible art directors, builders. This was a massive team effort. I mean, this was the biggest prank in internet history. It took an entire village to be able to do this. As you can imagine, streamers have tons of money. So some of the items in the background were incredibly rare one-of-ones, or they were art pieces. For example, XQC's shelf that goes in the back was a $9,000 custom thing from France. And somehow the art director found the only other one in the world, and it was in New York City, and we rented it for like 4 days. And it cost $3,000 just to rent it. I'm gonna pause this right here. One of my favorite details about this room, every single streamer's room has a YouTube plaque. So I brought all of my plaques. So if you zoom in, every single plaque in this video says Matthew Beem. It's kind of a funny Easter egg.
Do I look like Matthew Beem to you? This is not mine.
So this is XQC's room right here. It was actually the second room that we built, but definitely one of the most difficult because it was so large. There was 2 different windows, an entire kitchen. The details were insane. We had so many Easter eggs. On the kitchen table, we put a giant XQC. MrBeast, do not enter. And I'm not MrBeast. I didn't break the rules. This is when I found the room of all of the computers. It's insane thinking about how much money it costs to set up one gaming setup. Now imagine 50, and that's what they had to do for this video. I don't even want to tell you about the Wi-Fi situation. There was like 50 technicians there constantly making sure that 50 people could be live streaming at the exact same time.
Not only do we have to recreate these streamers' rooms, but we also have to have all the technology to pull it off. There's countless cameras over there, computers, monitors. This entire production costs over $5 million to be able to pull off. I feel like all of the pressure is on me to make sure these rooms are super realistic, or all of these people's time and money will be wasted.
I keep saying the word $5 million, but I just couldn't believe or imagine spending $5 million on a YouTube video.
It's time to move on to Pokimane's room while we keep progressing on the others at the same time. To make Pokimane's room super realistic, we replicated her shelf and arranged all of her items the exact same. The chair, the plants, all of the details, everything is in the exact same place.
One of my favorite things about this challenge is we only built certain angles and sides of the room depending on where the streamer's camera was, because you couldn't see the rest. Kind of like the set I'm in right now. As you can see, I'm standing in a set right now, and that's exactly what we did to recreate these streamers' rooms. There's a giant airspace above me and in front of me. There's no point in recreating what the camera doesn't see. So this right here was the interrogation room, which was really cool because they wanted a place that a bunch of streamers could go in and have a lie detector test and just play around with stuff. So a lot of this didn't actually make my video because a lot of streamers didn't actually really use it, unfortunately, but it was very, very cool because we had to figure out how to age it, make it look very old. It's very difficult turning something that's brand new into something that looks very old or metal.
Just a few hours ago, this was a normal wood door, and now with some paint and a cool handle, it actually looks like a metal door.
Oh God.
Okay, here we go. This is the opposite of Ratatouille. I just picture MrBeast watching us on the cameras, losing all hope that we're actually gonna be able to prank the internet.
But luckily, Jimmy, I had everything under control, and one of the biggest reasons was that lady right there. She's the art director. She was so helpful. This was our little makeshift office. We were spending a lot of time in there planning everything. You can see the floor plan right there. Everything was so detailed and planned. That's how this became possible. So we're making Quackity's room right here. We actually had a crazy challenge. We tried to do it in like 12 minutes because it was a little bit easier. We just had to display things. This is my favorite video, bro. It was so crazy grabbing their camera lens and trying to find it inside of the room. I'm so proud of this.
This is one of the easier rooms to pull off, but he does have a lot of custom items in the background, which is gonna make it a little bit more difficult.
It's funny when I say easier, like normally it would take me 3 weeks to do stuff like this. So we're adding all these different items right here, but the most important one is coming up. Quackity has this giant Lego set that's hundreds of dollars, and it's extremely fragile, so we couldn't break it.
You guys just broke it. Oh, you guys really just broke the track.
I think we should get Big Mac acting lessons.
He was trying to scare us, but his acting was so bad. But then it was actually broken.
That's a real picture from Quackity's room, and this is us live. It's an exact replica. Wow. This is crazy. We officially did Quackity's room in 11 minutes. This has to be a world record for the fastest anyone has ever made a streamer's room.
So now we're moving on to Ludwig's room, which was one of my favorites because he had so many props in the background, like a Lakers jersey. This is actually really cool. He had a bunch of very expensive Pokimane cards. Obviously, we didn't want to pay for that for this prank, so we just printed them, and it was just cardboard. A lot of the things in the streamer's background were actually fan art, so they were literally one of one. So since Noah's such an incredible artist, he was hand drawing the same exact designs. So the biggest challenge with Ludwig's room is he has a giant window and door on his left. So we had to recreate artificial sunlight with those lights out there. It was insane, bro. I'm such a nerd, but I'm such a fan of my own videos. I feel like that's very important as a creator. Like, I actually love my work, and I'm just so proud of my team. It was really cool to be able to pull this off. Can't believe that we did it. Maybe one day someone will recreate this room and prank the internet, but you have to subscribe and make this channel way bigger. And when we went back to Speed's room, we realized on his camera angle, you could see a little bit of his ceiling. Like on this set, you can't see the ceiling, but on Speed's camera, you could. Check it out.
Since this room is a recreation, everything is fake. You can't trust anything you see, including that ceiling. Once you lift the camera, you can see it's not real. We only added a small section of the ceiling that you see on Speed's stream to save as much time and money as possible since we have so many other streamers' rooms to build.
Oh, this moment stressed me out, bro. They came in and they wanted to remove the entire back wall to light it differently. Look how mad I look.
I wanted it to be a little bit further away so the lights weren't so close to his face, and it just gives a better quality with the distance.
Yeah.
You know?
So you want us to remove this entire wall?
Yeah.
The reason it's so important to remove this wall is if it doesn't have the proper lighting to match Speed's room, the prank won't work. So this wall has to go.
I got this!
That did nothing.
Big Matt is ridiculous. I was so sad to remove this wall, bro. We spent like 3 hours standing it. We built it in Colorado. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Unfortunately, to make the lighting look exactly like Speed's room, we have to remove the back wall and move our entire build over a few feet.
Hold that.
He said we should probably talk in person about this.
How do I put this? Lacy called me and he actually wants his own room.
Okay.
And so tomorrow I need a room for Lacy.
So you need another streamer's room.
Yeah, in like the next 18 hours.
I'm such a sicko, bro, because like I love stuff like this. I love figuring out how to do problems, and I'm not gonna tell MrBeast no. And a problem like that makes my video better. It adds a ton of stress, but I wanted to do it. It was so late at night. I went back in and told my team that we're doing this, and they were just like, the only way it was possible is to come up with an insane game plan. So we split up our team and everybody was working on different stuff. The art director actually found a Demigorgon in a different state on a Facebook listing that Lacy had in the background of his stream. So we instantly sent someone to drive 3 hours each way. I'm really good friends with Lacy, so I FaceTimed him and he showed me close-ups of his room. I noticed he had a ton of bear bricks, but it was very difficult to get the same ones. This is when the pressure was really high. Me and Jimmy got together and his team and we checked all of the wiring and the lighting, making sure that everything was perfect, because if one thing was off, the entire prank would be over. Whenever you have deadlines and you gotta have things dry, it's very difficult. I always have to tell the streamers, don't touch stuff. The paint is still wet.
But you pulled through, thank you.
Literally 12 hours ago, I didn't even know I was gonna do this room, and now it's done.
Guys, just get you a Beem if you need things.
The only thing left to do is for Jimmy to prank the internet with all the streamers.
Like, how do you even manage to do this?
You're actually insane, bro.
Got Lacy right there, Marlon, back there, MrBeast team's recording it. I think the only place that we messed up on this entire prank is we used really professional cameras. So the blur was really perfect, so it kind of looked like a green screen, but it was actually just the bokeh and the background was blurred. So we should have kind of matched their cameras a little bit better, but it was so difficult. Now it's time to see if all of this hard work paid off and find out what the other streamers think of their fake rooms.
So obviously we couldn't get your real play buttons. Yeah. So I just used
I know, I saw that. The Matthew Beem play button.
Y'all did an amazing job, man. Thank you so much.
I still can't believe that me and the team pulled this off, and of course MrBeast team too, they were a massive help, but it was so crazy recreating all of these streamers' rooms and being inside of them.
I just need to go grab MrBeast and Speed and show them. There are some things that are off about this room I did on purpose. Can you find them?
I was really nervous that they wouldn't like that, but I thought it was fun to add Easter eggs everywhere. Another thing that got cut from the video is that wall right behind Jimmy. We actually used ramen and food to create because we just wanted to do fun stuff to make it different and save money.
Oh, this is the bro. It's good, man. Here's the thing. What the hell, bro? It's like I'm back. They got the same sheet to the bed.
There's a few things off though. Can you tell?
Wait, shut up. Don't say nothing. That's obviously.
Look at this. It's all toilet paper.
Oh.
I don't know if he liked that one.
Oh, you popped in like a damn ninja, bro.
This was the craziest moment of my life. Being in the same room as these two legends right here. Obviously they're friends of mine, but it was crazy. It felt like we were in the Avengers or something. I'm not in the Avengers, but they are. I felt like a side character watching the Avengers. It was so cool.
I want to have like little Easter eggs in the house.
Really?
And these Jordan ones are cake. I wanted it to be like Easter eggs. If you want to like reveal it,
Better warning would have been better.
I felt pretty proud that he couldn't even tell if the shoes were made of ramen or that was a cake, so I feel like we did really good. I've built tons of streamers' rooms, but there's one person that's known for hiding in streamers' rooms. Maybe you can see him in the background right there. That's all I'm gonna say. Now it's time to go live. This is when stuff gets crazy.
Speed's down there. There's Lacy's room, Ludwig, Pokimane, XQC. This is crazy.
It was so cool just sitting back there. I felt like a Hollywood director watching all of these streamers in something I made. Like no one knows that that plaque says Matthew Beem back there. Oh. It was so funny. We spent like an hour building that helmet and then Lacy's just gonna drop it. Bruh. We custom painted that, Lacy. We had to match it perfectly for Red Bull. MrBeast walks into Speed's room and then right behind him is Jason the Ween, Marlon, Adapt, XQC. I was actually really nervous right here though. Those three had no idea that was a toilet paper bed and I thought they were gonna fall. You can see the little toilet paper coming out. I was sitting behind the scenes freaky. I was like, don't do it, it's toilet paper. I was so scared someone was gonna get hurt. I was actually really nervous right here. We paid a company to make this soccer ball cake, but there was a little bit of foam on the inside, so it might have been possible. The last thing to do was to see what MrBeast thought.
Thank you, man, for helping. Success. This is great.
Again, I'm standing the exact same as I was there. I'm a bot. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more behind the scenes stuff, make sure you subscribe. I really enjoyed doing this. It was a lot of fun taking you guys through and showing you everything. Watch these videos right here. I'll see you next time.